The inventor of the wheel. The man who invented the wheel. Kevin. Kevin McCoster has made the one wheel. Oh man, this is gonna be one fucking hell of an episode. I can already tell you right now.
We'll see.
Because back with us, we got the man, the myth, the legend, we got Ori.
I'm gonna make it so subpar. I'm gonna bring this episode way down.
I need this episode
only came here to
drink. Free drinks.
for free drinks.
Free drinks and trolling, everybody. Welcome back, Ori Rush.
That's my
to
new
the
role.
show.
Hi guys.
Ori is not the guest. Ori is less than the guest today. So
Oh man.
bad on the guest. I'm just. Welcome back to the Pushback. This is episode 3. Damn, does this feel? This feels good. This feels really
Be a
fun.
gangster.
Last episode with Travis was a blast. And this episode, I can only assume, is going to be even better because joining us today, we've got Cameron Ridge.
That's
with
me.
us.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Incredible.
Wow. Cameron Ridge is in with
Oh,
us.
wow.
Cameron Ridge Media.
Yeah.
With
You can see how ridgy he is, just full of ridges.
Very. Yeah.
the float effect, right?
Yeah.
Because we're going to be talking about
That's
it a bit
right.
today.
Yep.
We're going to roll, actually, right about here, I'm going to roll his reel because this dude has epic footage. So right here, Taylor, I'm going to leave this here to be rolled. Taylor is not in the show today. He's hanging out behind the scenes because
He's
back
here.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
right.
here.
He's here. He's just not in the scene, so he could cut all of us off at any moment. But I'm going to roll that reel right here. And we're back. So,
That was fast.
man, your reel was so incredible.
Dude, I loved watching that.
But with us as well. So we've got the float effect, right? And that's with Cameron Ridge. And on that as well, there were 2 people that were very involved with that film, and that's who's going to be joining us on this other side. We got Henry Dantzer over here with the pitties over the microphone. What up? What's What going on, up, man? Henry?
Your beautiful voice makes me feel like I'm listening to this on youtube.com/pushbackarmy. Subscribe.
Thank you for the plug. This was sponsored by Henry Dantzer
And Pit Vipers.
and Pit
Pit
Vipers.
Vipers.
Imagine.
Soon to be sponsored by Pit Viper.
Yeah, Dwayne turned down our offer, but
Well, we're
Sponsored by Dwayne's
working on
ad.
it.
We're
working on it.
Never say no.
It was leg day. He's always moody on leg day.
That's true. And someone else is in the episode. The chair with the Cowboys. His name's Josh, I believe. Yeah, Josh is there with us somewhere. I don't know if he's in
He's
Oh, hey! Yo, what's going on? How we doing?
Welcome, Josh.
You must
to
have
the
some important
episode.
business going on,
Should've
Josh.
yelled
What were
Gibby
what
as
were-
you
what were you
go.
working on up
Sorry,
there?
I was,
That's what we said. We said he should have yelled Gibby.
Yeah.
That was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
I'm just here. I'm here to talk about some one wheels. Let's get started.
Yeah, we're talking about one wheels. I've got parts on the way to this man. He's gonna fix up me and Travis's board, thank God, because we're going crazy. I made myself a little like wooden one wheel called Wilson with a little thing on it that I've been practicing on. He went out and dug a bunch of trails. Like we're going insane. So, shout out to Josh for fixing us up there.
Nice.
But yeah, welcome to the show, guys. Let's dive into this. Let's have some fun with it.
No.
No fun with it. All right.
No, that's
Well,
your job.
you're the
your
coach.
job is
Yeah,
to
I'm
bring
here.
it.
That's why I'm not saying
I'm not
it.
the coach.
I'm keeping
Travis
the
is the
energy as
coach.
low as possible.
Travis is the coach.
So we'll go in with
I'm just a guy.
we'll go in with a fashionable order here, right? I want to talk a little about Cam's backstory. So Cam, you sent us over some stuff too, like before I get into like your super backstory, I want to know like just how did you get into one wheel?
I saw it online like years ago. I don't remember the first place. Probably some like Corridor Digital video when like you always saw Ren on one.
Taylor's back there clapping.
Yeah, I just saw it online, and I knew like when I saw it, I was like, I gotta have that because I was like I longboarded a lot, skateboarded a little bit, snowboarded. I was always into board sports. So when I saw the one, I was like, ooh, that looks good. Like how much fun you could have on it. The tire was big. You could go over anything. Like there were electric boards. But like I wanted a one wheel, and then I just eventually got one, and I was right. It like changed my life, and like never touched another board again. And so it was probably
because you were in the middle of
3 years
making
ago.
a documentary for electric longboards, right? Like that was like right when you.
Well, that what kind of happened is I got the one wheel, and then
okay.
Yeah, I wanted to make a film because then I met these guys, and they were riding their boosted boards and stuff. So we wanted to make a film about that, and then everybody got one wheel, so it kind of changed the trajectory.
Yeah, Cam's affinity
So
towards one wheel can best be described as infectious because there are so many people.
Yeah,
who have
the
gotten
amount of
bored after
people
meeting
that
Cam.
I've
It's obscene.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I'm directly responsible for quite a few people getting one wheels.
Yeah,
Us included. Both of us included.
Henry was telling me, right? Yeah. Henry, what's your take on this?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Cam's pretty much what got you into one wheel, right?
Yeah, I mean, same as Josh. I mean, we had boosted boards for like a year or two in college when we were like sophomores or juniors or something like that. And we started building like a group of riders on campus. It got pretty big, and we had like nightly rides, and it was awesome. And then one night, we were just chilling with each other. I think we were drinking or something. We had another friend over. We went and got like these Black and Milds, which were like nasty, stupid like cigar things. And we were like, yo, let's just go to Josh's house and just like sit on the hood of his car and like drink. That would be sick because that's like totally a college thing to
Epic
do.
college move.
And
You can get into a lot more of the visual scene here. So it's like 3:30 or 4 in the morning. All right, it's like, was it fall? It was cold.
Late.
yeah, it was late.
It was cold to the point where we were both like wearing pretty heavy sweatshirts and like long pants, whatnot. And I don't even remember why we did this, but we're like, we want to get massive 40s and we want to get swishers. Because that's what you do in college on a Saturday night when you have nothing to do. And for some odd reason, we didn't want to drink them inside. So where do? You go on the street with your 40s and
Yeah,
your swishers.
I don't even know. Why did we drink them outside? Doesn't make
There were like
sense.
so many
'Cause you were in
weird
college.
decisions
You were-
that led to you being there in that moment.
There
Yeah,
were a
like,
lot
but
of
it was
variables that had
vital.
to fall into place, and we're pretty inebriated at this point. We're sitting on the hood of my car, and just from the distance, we see this little tiny white light just start to appear. And as it gets closer, we're serenaded by these beautiful.
Dude, we
hymns
knew
on
we
a
both
ukulele.
like connected. We were like, that is a one wheel. We knew
Right,
that was a
we-
one wheel.
This was like
We knew it
before
as soon
one
as
wheels
we
were
saw-
like big.
yeah.
This was in
It
the
was
plus
bef-
days.
I
This
think it was
in the
before
plus
the
days.
XR like came out.
This was definitely in
Yeah.
the plus days.
That's right. I didn't even have my
Yeah.
XR yet.
So again,
Yeah, that was just a
it's
plus.
it's Henry, myself, and our friend Christian at 4 a.m, completely drunk, and we see this light just pop over the horizon and start coming towards us. And as it gets closer and closer, we're serenaded by these beautiful hymns on a ukulele. And lo and behold, Cam rolls up wearing this big. It was
can't make
some
this
sort
shit
of
up.
like sombrero or some shit. But he comes just right in front of us playing this ukulele, and we're like, dude, we want to try that right now. Can we try that? And this dumbass.
You are our god.
They were
This
blown
dumbass
away. That was
said
an album.
Who are you?
Let me jump in here
He's
for a
like,
second.
what?
Take it
Like
out.
even less likely. Yeah, I was at a friend of mine's house. I didn't even go. This was at UC. I didn't go to UC. I had a friend that went to UC, and I never go to parties. But I went to this one party. I don't know why. But like I wasn't even at the party. I was like, this is dumb. I'm gonna go one wheel. So I would like one wheel. And it was the plus, so I would get like 6 miles on it, and then I would have to go back and charge and just sit at the party and like, I mean, I would talk to people, but like, I was just there to charge, and then I would go out riding again, and I would do that, and it was like 3 a.m. and I was out on like my 12th time like charging because the party was lame, and I'm just like cruising around practicing ukulele because I was also like
Jason
into the
Mraz.
ukulele at the time, yeah. So I was like blowing people's minds like when I would go by them on like, how is that powered? Oh, and he's playing the ukulele. Like I look pretty cool. But I go by them and it's like, so it's I'm never here. I don't know why I'm at this party. I'm one-wheeling. It's 3 a.m. They're never doing what they're doing, and then we meet, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go ride? We have boosted boards." And like, I was worried for these guys because they just start bombing down these like steep Cincinnati streets on their
back
boosted
up a little
boards.
bit further.
Drunk.
Yeah.
I'm like struggling to keep up. Yeah.
Back up a little bit further. So
I cannot
my
imagine.
apartment was not in a good part of town. So this isn't somewhere like where you go outside at night. So it's amazing that A, Henry and I were outside, and B, that Cam was riding that kind of a board around that area. So we're just going to go through all the variables here. Everything we've talked about is amazing that happened. But then Cam arrives to us. Cam arrives to us and he goes, "Oh yeah, you can try it." And I get on that thing and I just rocket downhill. Cam didn't give us any warning.
I was
He
like, yeah,
just
be
totally
careful.
okay
You
with
got to watch out for curbs and it'll throw you. He's just like, oh, there he goes.
Yep, I got it. Never seen a one-wheel
I
before
thought he
in my
would crash.
life. Or never
I
touched a
did
one-wheel
not.
before in my life.
Somehow
to come back
didn't
alive.
crash. Yeah.
Somehow didn't crash, came back up.
was
Henry
pretty
tried it.
What's the top speed? What's the top speed on that plus?
Like 24.
On a plus? No, not on one-wheel plus. It's probably
not an
like
XR.
19.
Yeah, like
Oh.
what was
you're
there
lucky.
marketed? Do you remember what it is for the plus?
I mean, I went 30 on a plus.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could pretty much take a plus as fast as you could an XR to some
Could you?
extent. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I think that there
pretty much
wasn't
like
much
the
tuning.
XR.
So
They didn't stop it. Yeah.
I can tell you that it was more than what was necessary
I would-
for a drunk college student at 3 a.m. Because Henry and I went flying that thing.
Yeah.
And we came back and we went, all right, here's the deal. We got 2 electric
I was
boards upstairs,
standing like
charged,
he
ready
could
to go.
steal it if he wanted. Like he's gone.
What year was this?
And I just left Henry there with him too.
2018, 19, 20.
It's probably like
around
18.
that point.
I got you.
But then we swing back up. We're like, all right, here's the deal. We got 2 charge boards upstairs right now. We're gonna go ride. And like Henry and I are having a hard time walking. We've drank so much, and we all get on these boards and we just go around campus. And it was one of the most fun rides to date I've ever.
They're
gone.
they're like that guy that can only play piano when he's drunk. Like they're like drunk, but then they get on these boards and they're just like flawlessly weaving between cars and like really steep, like leaning into turns and stuff. It was great.
We were probably 2 years into owning those boosted boards. Those were our favorite things by far.
Yeah, they looked well ridden.
So that made you guys kind of make that transition to one wheel then, yeah? So
It did,
when
yeah.
No,
Eventually, I mean-
I resisted it for the longest time.
It was a while
It
after
was probably
that.
a year at least. It was
Yeah, so-
a year, maybe several months before we even like spoke to you again, even
Yeah.
let alone even got a one wheel.
Yeah, no, it was a while.
So-
I reached back out to like Henry on Facebook. I was like, "Hey, you remember me? Like, we should like group ride." And so we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Henry said, we ran the Cincy Eastgate group, which was at that time all e-boards. And we had so much fun with
Mostly
our XRs
boosted
and our
boards.
spare
I was like the
batteries.
only
Yeah, mostly
one-wheel.
boosted boards. I mean, it grew to the point Henry was an affiliate for Boosted. So we were selling these things on campus and growing this group and then grew a downtown group. We were the e-board guys for campus. And
How big?
we
How
had
big
so
was
much
that
fun
group at the
riding
time?
asphalt.
Like 40 people.
Probably
40.
Yeah, 40 something, 40, 50. Just
Like
the
20,
college group.
like the
Downtown was
biggest
even
group
bigger.
rides would be like 20, 25 people, like all on a group ride.
And we would do that
wild.
every
Yeah,
single
that'd
night
be
too.
so fun.
That's not just
Yeah.
weekends.
Okay.
So we
Yeah,
had
it was literally
a fairly
nightly.
dedicated following behind this. And we
fun.
had so much fun riding streets and parking garages and all this stuff. I never thought that I would need anything else. I came from a background of skateboarding, longboarding, so having the ability to shoot uphill and downhill was life-changing. And then Cam comes on one group ride. He's like, guys, watch this. And he rides this curb like 40 feet. And I'm like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
And it just kept building on itself. Like I would hit
Yeah.
every little bump and everything that you couldn't
Yeah.
on like a boosted board, and they're like, "Oh,
And we were just like,
I want
what?
one."
Like, this is...
Like I mean, like I was all right, but I wasn't doing anything like crazy impressive. I mean, some things I was doing like pretty stupid,
There
like
was,
that
like,
ledge,
still
that
blew our
big
minds.
ledge that went down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
there's like
ledge
2 or
is
3 rides
insane.
in. There's this feature on UC's main campus. It's probably, what'd you say, 25, 30 feet tall.
Oh,
but
the-
it's like
the toe
45
incident. At least,
degrees
yeah.
sloped down. It's probably about
Oh,
10
that,
inches
yeah,
wide. And we're just riding the normal route we do around campus. And Cam's like, guys, hold up. And he grabs his board and sprints up these stairs. We're like, what is he doing? He puts it up on the railing and stands up. And like the feature itself is like 20, 30 feet tall, but the stairs beyond it go down very quickly. So if you were to fall at the top, it's like a good 40 feet to the bottom. And Cam just sets up on the top of it.
Yeah, you had some
nonchalant,
early
like
clips,
it's no
like-
big deal. And just sends the whole thing straight down.
There is a clip of it. There's a
Yeah,
clip
I'll
of it
send you
somewhere. I
guys
know
the clip.
someone
That
recorded
was
it.
have it.
that was steep. I honestly had no idea if I was gonna like do it successfully. And when I did, I was surprised. I
very
was like,
impressive.
wow, that was cool.
That was the turning point for
Hey.
me where I'm like, okay, I don't want one of these. I need one of these. Because there's no way you could do
That
that
was
with
it.
anything else.
That was the moment.
Yeah.
But then I dropped it on my toe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Are we getting into
dude.
that?
All right.
that was the
You
first.
destroyed
That was like the
your
first
toe.
story I heard about you.
This would be a quick tangent, and then we
Okay.
can.
This is
then we
important.
can
This is
move
important.
on.
This is a Cam story.
But basically, like, so I do like that ledge, right? Huge death-defying ledge, right? And then, like,
ease.
I don't know, on a later group ride, there's like it's like 4 feet tall. So like to make it more interesting, I like get on one hand and I'm sticking a leg out and I'm going on this ledge, right? Like balancing, it's whatever. And I lose a little balance, so I jump down. Like I said, it's like 4 feet. Like I didn't fall. I lost balance and I dismounted. And at that point, I was fine. But like a half second, the one wheel like rolls on and then falls off, and like 1 in a million like guillotines my toe, like lands full force on my toe. The aluminum just like hits it, and it's like at that moment, like I knew like something's not right. I was like, just got hit in the toe. So everybody else is like, oh geez, whatever, it's fine. And then Josh, I don't think they realized like the severity of the situation. I was like, no, hold on, guys. So I'm hopping. I take my shoe off. I take my sock off, and I see it, but they don't see it yet. They just see a little bit of blood. It's like, hey, you need a Band-Aid? It's like, no, my toenail, my big toenail, had been popped out of like the roots from like the pressure of it hitting. It was gone. It was like resting on my toe. My toe was broken in half. And it was brutal, and it was like I would step, and it would just squirt like blood out the sides.
Dude, there was
Honestly,
so
I
much
feel-
blood on the
And to
sidewalk.
clarify,
I'm watching
to
that
clarify,
Mel Gibson
he's
movie
wearing
right now where
running
he takes the
shoes.
hammer to
It
it.
was brutal.
Cam was
Running
wearing
like Nike
so
free
there's
runs,
no
dude. So
insulation.
it was like wearing socks. So, but it was so dumb. It was like just this little ledge that I just got off of. I didn't fall or anything, and then it just like teeters and then falls on my foot. It was so dumb. So we like call. I can't. It was my right foot. So was it my right foot? It was my left foot actually. But anyway, it was like hard to walk, let alone like drive or anything. So we call like the EMS people, and they show up, and like it was firefighters. It was like wasn't even an ambulance. It was a bunch of firefighters. And it was like, hey, we don't know if we should have called you, but like we just I don't know, like take a look at this. And I'm like, should I pull it? I pull my toenail up because it's just like hang. I know it's gross, but it's like crazy story.
Necessary.
And they like firefighters. We're like, ugh, that's gross. Like, I was like, what the heck, guys? Come on, like, what do
Well,
I
yeah,
do?
'cause
Do
you
I
said,
leave it? It
"Hold
was like
on, I can
Stewie with
rip
like
it
the
off."
glass in his head. Do I take it out? Do I leave it in? Do I take it out? Do I leave it? But they just like, nah, you're fine, dude. They wrap it up, pour bleach on the sidewalk, and then like call it a day. So I wasn't charged for that. That was good. But then Josh takes me to the hospital. It's like a 6-hour visit where they're like sewing the toenail back into place. That was the most painful experience of my life, where this weird doctor, she was sketching me out.
Doctor.
Whatever hospital that was on UC's campus, she like shoves the nail back in. I'm like, they failed to like numb the area correctly, shoves it in, starts stitching it up. I'm in agonizing pain. And then they're like, oh, wait, let's try again with the numbing. And they get it right. And then I'm just like, they can go to do whatever they want. So it was all pointless. They just didn't numb me correctly the first time. And that was all a thing. And so then when we're done, like in the wee hours in the morning, we go right back out and get on a board for a picture with
And
my
it was
boot
that
on.
point forward.
Yeah, literally
that
immediately after.
he wore steel toe boots for all of his rides.
Yeah.
Is your toenail still fucked up?
No, it grew back. So they sewed the toenail back on to like preserve the nail bed, which was quite like messed up. But I guess it kind of worked because then the new one grew on and the stitches like dissolved, and that one I had to pull that off like weeks later. And it's grown back most. I'm not gonna take my sock off, but like mostly,
no,
thanks.
no.
no, it's a little discolored, but like it's pretty. At a glance, you wouldn't know. So I'm
You can use it to scratch your other
pretty
leg
lucky.
with
Yeah,
it and everything.
yeah. It's a little like bigger, but
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have a fingernail. When I chopped my finger off when I was a kid, like I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have it. It
at
didn't
that
grow
thing.
back. It didn't grow back.
at that
Yeah.
nub.
How about that?
Yeah, but
There you go.
at least you got yours back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not having
Thank
a
God.
toenail or fingernail could possibly be the worst thing. Like
It's, like,
I
so
understand why God
inconvenient.
created those.
My
because when
sister
you don't have them. And you
my
smash
sister has
something-
problems with hers where they like always fall off and grow back. It's a little too much information, but yeah, it like causes her problems. It's so annoying.
non one wheel related. Let's get back to the conversation.
Anyway,
I
Well,
will
anyways,
say, though,
yeah, he
I
ended
will
up
say-
making us get one wheels.
Okay.
So, those 6 hours in the ER
what will you say?
Do
is
say
the
it.
moment where Cam
saying
went
something.
from just another guy in the group to like one of the core like friends that we have who rides.
To a friend, yeah.
One of the
And
boys.
during those 6
that was a good
hours,
time.
that is the most pain I've ever
initiation.
seen a human being in my entire life. It looked like absolute torture the entire time.
It was pretty bad.
I felt so bad.
It's
for
literally
you
like
just
Chinese
sitting in there.
torture, like under like finger toenails. You
Or
don't,
just
like,
torture. Just regular old
just
torture.
torture.
want that.
The reason the numbing didn't work is because Josh was like
Yeah,
hitting himself with it.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But okay, so beyond that, like, so you guys, like, obviously the toenail incident didn't stop you. Like, you guys,
No.
you kept moving
No.
forward.
Yeah, more
Surely
and more
not.
people kept buying one wheels in the group.
Yeah. And so what's the
The
group?
way-
Like, I know I don't want to jump ahead too far, but like, okay, groups around 40 or 50. You said they started converting to one wheels, right? And like,
did,
how did
yeah.
that, how
They
did
did.
that work? Like, what was that timeline like?
Oh god! So
You guys
it
first,
started-
pretty much.
It
It was
started
funny
with Henry
because
and I.
I was a boosted ambassador for a while.
One a year at a time.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. We made them boosted first. Like they started boosted. I sold like a bunch of people boosted boards because I was an ambassador for boosted for a while. So I sold like boosted boards to everybody, and then we ended up getting one wheels. Then everyone's like, "These things are sick," and then everyone just started getting rid of their boosted boards and buying one wheels.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
at least
then
they had
people
something
would
to
sell
sell
their
to get a
boosted
one.
boards.
They would sell their
Yeah.
booster board.
People would sell their boosted boards to other kids in the group who wanted to get into it, and then those kids would buy those boards and figure out, oh no, I want a one wheel, and then they sell to somebody
Lost me there
else.
for a second.
So
I got you.
those boards would get very transient in who owned them.
Gotcha.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Especially that part I didn't hear when it cut out. That was the best part.
Am I dropping?
But yeah,
out?
before long, most people in the group had one wheels.
Yeah, just
did
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit.
Yeah, I mean, like it'll be recorded on the like with the system that we have. It we should be good. But
Gotcha.
if we lose you for a second, I might ask you to repeat something. So
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Everybody just smile and pretend like you can.
yeah, no, that
cool.
part was amazing. Just drop in again and it'll be good. Maybe it'll fix the server.
No, but
So
Henry
all right,
was
you
less
guys.
res-
So you got the.
sorry, go ahead.
They dropped out again.
That's God telling him to be quiet.
See, I'm gonna leave with this question here. Quick, you guys get the boards. Like everyone's starting to convert to one wheel, right? Like when. So you guys know Ori, right? You guys have been rode with Ori.
Didn't know
like-
Ori yet.
Didn't know Ori yet. Okay.
No, we didn't know.
Like,
We did
when
not
did you guys
Ori-
meet
know Ori at
Ori?
this
Like when did you guys get into the races or like?
That's
Yeah.
fairly. The races in Ori recent compared to like
The
Yeah.
whole
The
the whole
backstory. Okay.
timeline.
Yeah, year.
So give me some
I
fillers
just
in
thought
here.
it
What,
was
like a
Some
year,
reason
year or two after you guys got into it?
Yeah. Probably.
So I remember
Yeah,
the first
go ahead.
time I met Ori. So I was working.
Oh,
an
I do too.
internship
I do.
Up in Toledo. I was working internship up in Toledo, and Nico was also in Toledo because that's where he's from originally. And this is like, I don't know, maybe 2.5 months into when I got my first XR. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to this ride up near Cleveland. Do you want to come?" I'm like, I guess I can go ride with some people, but I'm also pretty content riding around here. You know, I got work on the next day. Don't really know if I'm gonna go. And like the last minute before he was gonna leave, he's like, "Oh, by the way, founder of Flight Fins is gonna be there." I'm like, "All right, I'm in. I'm going." And we got in his car. We drove like 3 hours to go to this spot. And I forget where it was exactly, but there was way more people than I've ever seen on boards before. And we're all riding trails like we normally
Yeah, that was a
do.
big
We
meetup.
get-
That was a big meetup.
That was a big group. But when you get a sizable quantity of people riding trails and you're all going down one trail, you sort of naturally sift fastest to the front and slowest to the rear. And I started near the back of the group, as did Ori, and I believe Robert was there too. And there was a core group of about 4 to 5 people that just started passing people and going to the front. And this is the first time in 2.5 months, I've probably ridden to 20 people total by this point. This is the first time where I've had people be able to put the burn on me. Not that I'm good by any means at this point, but I have Robert and Ori just with ease shoot right by me. And this is before I knew what flight fins or anything was. And I'm just trying to pin as hard as I can go to keep up with these guys because that's just where I wanted to go. And we get to the end of this run. It was probably 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, guys, I have to hand it to you. I've never been passed before. Like, this is a new experience for me. I'm having a ton of fun because you ride a lot faster with people who are more experienced than you. And I forget if it was Robert or I'd be like, yeah, we haven't had people be able to keep decent pace with us before. And it just sort of went from there. So we've been riding pretty much every spot that all three of us can
He
get
earned
together
it.
since.
Yeah, that
His
was
friendship with Ori.
Yeah, no, it was great because he was like super high energy like right away, and like keeping up with me and Robert. And I was like, oh, okay, he's stoked. He is so stoked about it. And then that was I remember it was like maybe like 2 minutes after meeting each other. He's like, dude, we're the same person. We are the same person.
Same. I had that
That is
experience
such
with
a
Josh too. Yeah. When you're the same person, he lets you know.
Yeah, exactly. But there was definitely a connection there early on. And we do have a lot of the same interests and things like that. We both love design. We love illustrating. We love one wheels. There were a lot of things that we connected on early on that really, and we should also get Nico on here as well if he's not scheduled, but
Nico
100%
needs
should
to
get
be
Nico.
on one of these episodes.
Nico's definitely going to come on.
He's
the
the
show.
guy.
He's the guy. Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
knows
He's
Nico.
literally the guy.
He's got one wheel stories.
He was hesitant
One-wheel
at first. I
wiki.
don't have anything to talk about. I'm like, trust me. Like, we'll get you to talk. You'll have no
Oh my
problem.
He says that. Yeah,
definitely
it's like we're asking.
That's the thing.
somebody
He's a
advanced,
humble dude. He's a humble dude. He's got to, but he needs
If you
to
don't
be in the
want him
spotlight.
to talk,
Yep.
if you don't want
That'd
him
be
to
cool.
talk, or
He might
if,
need a booster seat, but
if you want Nico to talk and he doesn't want to, you just gotta be like, so I'm looking at new bumpers and I don't know what I'm gonna get, and then he's good for like 3 hours. Like he'll go from that to
talk about a
hey,
product
this
that
is what
he's
you need.
knowledgeable
This is what's
about.
gonna fit the riding style you have. And
Yeah.
Oh man,
Definitely, Josh. Yes, 100%.
Josh, are you on McDonald's Wi-Fi or what, dude?
He's just silent for like 10 seconds straight.
His background,
You're at like 0.2 frames a second.
his
Yeah.
background is just fake. It's like a Zoom
I
background.
love that it catches the first part of the phrase though. It's like, and then Nico
Yeah,
was like,
no.
Oh man.
for all of our listeners out there, we are like, so we have this thing going live, like, and it's probably going to sound amazing in post because it will record on their computer and then send it to us.
This isn't
without
going to make any
glitches.
sense at that point.
But we're gonna just like we're paused, like we're trying to watch in and listen to these guys. So we've got Henry and Josh in virtually, everyone else in studio. So live time here, but we every now and then it's blipping in because somebody's on McDonald's Wi-Fi.
One of us.
But all right, so we're kind of I'm tracing in here. We got a little bit of the one wheel stories, right? I briefly got in. I would say probably what do you got, Josh or Henry? Do you guys feel like you didn't cover your one wheel story at all, as far as like getting into it?
No, that was it.
Okay, cool.
I will
It
say
was camp.
So
the turning
Short story,
point for it, the turning point for it, because I was more resistive than Henry. Cam, when he got his XR, he's like, "Here, take my plus for a week." And I rode that thing to and from
That's
class.
right. I
Oh, that's
forgot
right.
about
Oh, he
that.
did that for
I
you
got
too.
the
5
XR
days.
and I
Yeah.
In those
poured
5
out my
days that I had
plus
it.
to everybody.
In
Dude.
those 5 days that I had it, Henry would be like, "Hey, you had your day yesterday. Can I get that plus today?" And we just traded it back and forth. And by the end of that week, we didn't want to give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah, I know, we
I got
really
the
did.
XR and my plus I gave it to them. It went from like 500 miles on it to like 1100 in like a week or something. They just
Yeah, we
rode
Dude,
Probably
the
that
shit
thing
out of
did
it.
300
not
each.
rest. That plus
Man,
charge time
that is
was
wild.
so nice.
Yeah.
And I still sold it for like $800. Like that's like crazy. Those things retain their value.
It was
and, like,
yeah.
beat up too.
yeah.
They hold their value though. People love them.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So I want to kind of shift direction here and talk a little bit about like, obviously, Cameron's been producing this this film, The Float Effect, right? Cameron, like just real quick, let's give listeners a backstory. Like, what is The Float Effect? What's it
Yeah.
about?
So The Float Effect is a film that I've been working on in the background of my normal day job as a video producer, and it's a film about the feeling you get when you're on a one wheel, when you're with your family, your one wheel family, and just how it makes your life better, and how I've seen it change the lives of everybody around me, and how it's this big growing thing that's just more than like two pieces of aluminum with a wheel. It's like a lifestyle for a lot of people, and so it's just all the film aims to do is show that off and explain it to people who entertain people who know that, and explain it to people who don't in the coolest way that I can. So that's really all it's about. It's just about the passion of it, and I had to find my way there. When I started it, it was when we met, me, Josh, and Henry. I was like, hey, you guys like riding? This is when they were still on longboards. It was just let's just make something. Like I want to make a film you guys ride, I ride. I can't film myself, or I need subjects. So they were like, cool. And we just started shooting. And then it evolved over and over again. Like, oh, I want to go this way with it, this way. And then it's finally kind of found its purpose here like 2 years later. So yeah, just collecting footage over the years, editing and re-editing, and that's what it's become. And so really excited to
re-editing
to
and
get
re-editing.
a lot of re-editing.
And pushing back the time you're going to release it, and then pushing it back again, and then again,
exactly.
and again.
We're all about the
finding more
pushback
parts to
here.
add.
So
Hey,
keep on pushing.
That's
it back.
true. Hey,
you go.
plug, subscribe, drop a comment.
I was just telling Taylor earlier, I had to actually edit that guy in saying you suck. I heard the sample somewhere. I heard the booze.
The
I'm
booing
like,
wasn't
I need
enough.
to throw this guy in
we
that
need a
says, "You suck."
little spice if you suck.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, no, I
Totally worth it.
I spent 10 minutes
Right?
just making one
Totally worth
sample
it.
just to have the guy say you
Yeah.
suck.
That's funny.
So you guys make the you got to film. Let's say it's like 90% complete, right? You
Yeah,
call it
yeah,
that?
at
Right.
least.
Okay,
Yeah.
because it's been through its revision after revision.
Exactly. It's been 90% complete several times and for a while because, it just keeps changing. But like legitimately this time, if anybody wants to believe a date that I set out there anymore, probably by the end of January. Let's just say that. Because if anybody cares, here's the thing, like quick disclaimer, like it's a background project, like I have a day job. I try to balance my life. I was explaining this to you earlier.
That's not priorities.
Sounds like-
Right,
Sounds
exactly.
like
Like if
bullshit
it
to
was
me.
a priority, it'd be done. But it's like, it's like, what?
Just
Is
a
that
bug
another
just-
stink bug?
that one
just
was a
flew
moth.
on it.
Dang, man.
Big stud.
Buggy
brought
in
in the bugs
studio.
over here.
Sorry.
Pestilence.
It's just like, sorry.
But I was, so it's a background project, right? So it's not my main focus. And so when I'm done, like editing and producing commercials all day, like the last thing I want to do most of the time is like go back to editing it. Sometimes I'm feeling it. Sometimes like, yeah, I'm in the mood and I want to, make progress on this thing. But, so, that's what it's like. It's a big project and it's a back burner project. So those two things combined just make it take a while. But very close, very close. And I've gotten a bunch of good days in. Past few days, I've had a lot of time during the day to edit, so I'm getting really close. Just a few things to drop in and tweak, and we'll be good.
How far do you think you got in the film before your toenail converted them into one-wheeling?
That was early on. That was pretty early on. But yeah, that was gonna be featured at one point. I had like a Rex montage of like board and one wheel Rex, and that was going to be in there, but that's not in there anymore.
Really?
The film is not even out yet. I want to see the director's cut of just
Yeah.
Do you
all the
remember
B-roll,
the?
Like
all the
I think I have like 15 hours of footage
wow.
that I've collected, which like depending on the project doesn't really sound like a lot, but it's all just like random like group rides and stuff. And it's organized as best it can be, but like just the amount of footage and like finding, like I know where things are, so I just have to go find them and get them in there and stuff. But it just kept like, I haven't shot anything in a while anymore. It's just like pickup shots here and there. But like when I was in the shooting phase, it was just like, just get footage. And when you do that, when you get a lot of it, it just takes a while to go through. So
For sure, yeah. I'm gonna shift this over to Henry. Henry, what was your favorite part about filming during this? Like, you got a favorite time when you guys are filming, or a good memory there?
Yeah, there's actually some, back when we were on boosted boards, there's a couple specific sessions that I'm sure will be, I know Cam was very proud of them, where he was getting like really sick drone shots of us like ripping around parking garages and stuff. Sounds kind of lame. It's like, it's way cooler than it sounds.
Dude,
I feel like we had
the
some,
parking garage, I feel like, is the unsung hero of one wheel and skateboards too. It's like
I agree.
it is kind of like that's
In Ohio.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because it is
New
like
Zealand.
it's the only place you can really do any of those things, and it is kind of that place like the collective. You get together with your friends, you go skate a parking garage.
yeah.
exactly.
So
It
yeah, I
doesn't
think
matter
that's
if
a
it's
good
raining either.
element to.
It's
incorporate.
funny you say like it sounds dumb, but it's gonna look cool. That is like the thesis to anything I shoot, right? Like anytime you're trying to convince people, like, hey, I need you all to ride like really slowly so I can keep up and get this like choreographed shot. Like it's gonna feel really stupid, but then like look at the shot and it's like really dope. So like you
I
say
think
that a lot.
I think that that describes one wheeling as well.
Yeah.
Like it looks kind of boring, but it's
Yeah.
so
You're on it,
dope.
and
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks dope, but it's so sick.
And I think that parking garages are only boring looking to people who haven't skateboarded
Correct.
or one wheel.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's funny. That's kind of a challenge that I would face early on. I was trying to figure out. It's like if you film it wrong, it can look really dumb and boring.
Yeah.
So it's how to make it look energetic and fast and exciting. And like one is to go fast, but then I can't keep up because I'm riding a one wheel and filming it myself. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like there's like tricks to make it look like maximum.
It's
cool.
kind of like that float light video that came out the other day that was like so awesome. But I think if I was a skateboarder instead of a one wheeler and had never tried it, I'd be like, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, there are a lot of one wheel tricks that's like, oh, that was a trick. I wasn't. I
can't
thought I was
understand,
watching. I
like,
didn't.
how
Until
much
you
effort
step
that
on
took to
one,
do.
and then like watching him practice like pop shove or not just shove it. I guess they just call it on it. But like like I was like, damn, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
that's like trick 1 on a skateboard, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
trick 30 on a on a one wheel. You're like,
Yeah.
damn, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
It's
your
when-
definition of a trick gets
Yeah.
deviated.
Yeah. And it's when you can impress like a lay person, somebody that doesn't one wheel. They see a one wheel trick and they say that looked cool. Like that's when you know you've
Yeah.
done it. Because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to people in the know, it's like, oh, that was cool because of that's hard to do or whatever. But like when it actually just looks cool, that's when you know you've got it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Totally.
Josh, what about you, man? What's one of your favorite moments when you guys are filming for the float effect?
All right, so I've got two. One is when we were filming, and one was when we were talking about filming. So again, back to the boosted board days. There was this park that we went to, and we were trying to get this shot going down this real long, curvy paved road with all the leaves. And Cam had his old Dodge Caliber. And I forget who we had with us to drive, but the shot effectively was Henry and I on boards carving back and
Austin.
forth super hard. It was Austin driving, that's right. But it was Henry and I carving back and forth across the street, chasing Cam with the camera. And we didn't have a good way for Cam to ride a board and run the camera at the same time. It's like, wait, we're just going to put Cam in the trunk of his car. So
and be keeping up with a boosted board.
and be keeping
Yeah,
so
Like we're going like
we're
20
moving
something
at
miles an
boosted
hour,
board
so it's hard
speeds.
for him
Yeah,
to keep
it's
up on
not
a one
slow.
wheel.
So we very quickly figured out Cam couldn't ride and shoot at the same time. So our solution to this problem was we had the hatch of Cam's car open and up, and Cam took both the rear seat belts and put them around his shoulders, and then like reverse Superman hung out of the back of his car with his super expensive camera like a couple inches off the ground. And it is one of the coolest
Inches off the
shots
ground to
I
get
have
like that
ever
low,
seen.
Michael Bay shot.
But like I said,
There's some
we're
cool shots.
moving through this
Yeah.
road.
That's a
And
trick
as
I've
we-
done several times since.
This is like very early on into when we were shooting. So both Henry and I are like, this dude's crazy. We're like fairly new into meeting Cam and seeing how he operates. But as we get to the end of shooting this particular shot, there's a cop who sees us doing this shot and sees Cam hanging out of the car with
Yeah.
the camera, and they're like, you got to pack it up and get out of here now before we have to do something.
Yeah. They were
Get
nice
up.
though. He's like, you can't.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
nice
do
about
that.
it.
think
It's a
someone
school
called them,
project.
too.
Ah, you can't do that.
Oh,
I have
it
a
was so
press
funny.
pass.
Yeah.
But
Now, that was
sort of
good. That was
half related to that.
I just
story.
met Austin. I was like, "Here, dude, drive my car with me hanging out of the back."
I trust you immediately.
Yeah, like, he's a cool dude. He did a good job.
half
He's a
related.
good car operator.
Half related to that story, though, we didn't get all the shots we were going for, so we wanted to come back and do it again. But at this point, Cam had already got Henry. This is past when he let us borrow his Plus, so Henry and I were hooked, and we were looking for XRs, and we wanted boards. And Cam's like, you guys just need to wait like another 1 to 2 weeks at most for us to get these shots, and you can get your one wheels. And we couldn't wait that long. Both of us sold our boosted boards and got one wheels before we could get those shots. And then Cam had to like restructure a pretty decent portion of what we were shooting.
That was like the first like re-edit because everybody got one wheels. Like, this was supposed to be about boosted boards.
And now it's a one wheel film.
Mm-hmm.
That's sweet. So I want to back this up a little bit now. Like, hold on, we didn't get to the second story, did we, Josh?
No, that was the second one.
When we were talking about filming.
Yeah.
So there's filming, and then there's
Okay.
that
All
we
right.
couldn't
So
wait long enough to get boards.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I got you. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I do want to back up then, like, because you were just talking about hanging out of the car, and I remember reading in your bio when you sent it over to us about like working with the Dutons. Like, so is this like at that point where you're like you were picking up on some of these filming techniques too, like previous to doing like the one wheel and boosted board stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean that's just kind of me. It's like just doing what you need to do to get the kind of shots that you see in like high budget stuff, but just doing it how you need to do it. So like you would have like a camera crane doing that, right? But it's like I can just hang out the car, and I've got it down to a science. Now I have a Ford Explorer now, so like now I can fully like lay down and I can tuck my toes. Like when I put the seat down, there's this little channel and I can put my toes in there and it like keeps me from moving. So, and then my chest is like up against like the running board thing. Oh, it's great. I got a shot for of a car, an old classic car for a music video, doing the exact same method. It's and I had a budget too, so I didn't need to do that, but like it just works and it's free. So like
At this point, I just like to live on the edge.
Exactly.
Who needs a crane when I got me?
exactly. But no, so like yeah, I mean, were you asking about like the dude sins?
Just,
or?
yeah, like you had a little bit of background. Like I was just curious, like obviously, like that's really cool that you had the chance to like shoot for some of those things and like take that experience in. Like people don't realize that when this film comes out, like there's nothing that's ever been done like it for.
I'd like to think so.
For the float effect, and I've seen some of the footage, and I'm pretty sure everyone here collectively has seen some of the footage. Like it's you've got a really solid project on your hands, but you don't like get there overnight. So like I do want to get a little bit of your backstory a bit, because I want to talk a little bit about Josh's backstory, how he got like, all right, now we're at this point of, you know, where his mechanical side of things came in and said, all right, shit, I want to start fixing these things now. Same with Henry. So I want to start with yours though, Cam.
Yeah. So, you know, over the years, I've just kind of been developing and honing my craft for film production. It started in high school when I took a class, and it was like a little multimedia class where we had to film stuff, and I was like kind of good at it, kind of natural at it. It was fun. And I didn't know what I was going to do in college, so like that kind of like planted the seed. And even then so then I went on to college, and I just studied business. I didn't study film. I studied film by just doing it. I just got the Adobe suite and got a camera for Christmas, a little DSLR camera. I just started making stuff, and that's really how like it's always been, is just like doing the work for as little investment as possible. I didn't want to go into a bunch of debt going to school and stuff like that. It's like all the information's out there on the internet and other people in the industry. So you just ask them, learn from the internet, start doing it. So that's what I did. And I just started making films and stuff. And then I got paid for my first job at some point in college. I made a little film for a paintball place, and they paid me unexpectedly. I was like, oh, and that was like the first moment I was like, oh, this can be a thing. So I really jumped into it because I really started to enjoy it, and it was just a thing of passion, but it became a business. And so my passion became my business, and I mean that was pretty cool. So that's why it's always been easy for me to just pour like a lot of time and effort into learning the craft, because I love it so much. And so then I started doing like commercials for local businesses and music videos for you know, big local bands that, you know, had the budget to actually do music videos, and that's what I do a lot now. Done a lot of weddings. You know, dip my toes into that area, and did quite a few weddings one year. And so, yeah, just building my business up. And so now I have those capabilities to make like really good content for things that I'm passionate about. And this film is like the first time that I'm making something like for me to put out there. Like I love one wheeling, and I love the community, and I love my friends that we do it with. So this is like a really high quality, I'm trying, I hope so, version of, you know, that passion project for that passion. So that's kind of the idea, and I hope when it comes out, I hope everybody agrees that it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. With that too, like, so when you got your one wheel, did you think of it more as a filming tool or just for the fucking fun of it?
When I first got it, it was just like, that looks awesome, I'm gonna ride that all the time. And then I did, and it's funny you say that, because like I use it for filming a lot. Yeah. It's a really good way.
Tax write-off.
Yeah, I actually did write it off on my taxes because when I got the Plus, that was like the just learning phase, and then when I got the XR, that was when I had been doing more projects, like using my one wheel. Like I'll get a full Steadicam rig on, and I'll be on my one wheel, like chasing a jogger for like a shoe commercial or whatever. It's a really good way to get moving shots, like steady moving shots, or whatever. It's actually crazy how applicable it is to the film industry. But yeah, pretty good for that.
That was the only way I got through the airport in the early days. Was
call it a film dolly.
Call it a dolly,
yeah.
And they even take it out and they kind of look at it. They're like, well, it's probably a dolly.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yep.
Yep. That's really cool. Josh, what about you, man? Like, so you're like, we'll give people like two, because you're in charge of Fiction Factory Boardworks, right? That's the name of it. Okay, cool. So, like, how do you even get to the point where you're like, I wanna start like really taking this thing apart and making it better than Papa FM.
Yeah, so that's pretty much been the directive I've had with everything I've ever owned. If I'm buying something, it's not staying together for very long. It could be, bikes, skateboards, computers, consoles, whatever I'm buying, I'm taking it apart to see how it works, just because I want to know the mechanics that make it do the thing that it does. And Henry and I did this with e-boards for many years, and going into one-wheeling, wow, the product's great and it's so much fun to ride. But it was a matter of days before I started thinking, okay, now how can I make this thing go a little bit faster? And how can I make it last a little bit longer if I tumble it down some trails? And this is before there was anybody outside of like the major aftermarket companies, so Craft and Ride, TFL, Flight Fins. But this is like right in the beginning of the float plate days. And I'm just figuring out ways that I can make my board go a little bit further, swap the bearings in and out, put a new tire on it, change the grip tape, all stuff that's pretty standard right now. But at the time, this is stuff that only, if you're on the outside looking in, this would be regarded as like an enthusiast level thing. And going to these group rides around Toledo, again, this is when I was on my internship. I wasn't at college at the time. But people would see like, oh my God, how'd you change the grip tape out? Or how'd you modify your foot pad to have it have a concave side on the back? And eventually I had people start bringing me boards saying, I don't care what you did, can you do it to mine? And that grew to the point where it was taking enough of my time outside of work where I started charging for what I thought something like that was worth. And that only brought more people to me. So I never got a one wheel or had the intention to start working on them or doing service for myself or other people. It's just the natural interest I had just sort of grew in that direction. And as you fall deeper down this rabbit hole, as everybody here and everybody listening knows, it only gets worse. And then it gets worse more. And then it gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, right.
So it just opened up into all these different avenues of things that I could fix and things that I could make myself. And that just sort of has grown into what I do now. So there's almost nothing that I won't do to one of these boards.
That's amazing. Now, your shop now, where is it's New Hampshire, right?
Yeah, so I graduated this past year and moved out to Manchester, New Hampshire. So I am, as of the recording of this podcast, the only SLS shop in all of New England.
Wow. Okay. So how many are you fixing quite a bit of boards now at this point? Like, I mean, not just one wheels necessarily, but like
one wheel is
your
still the majority. I got 10 on that rack, and I got another 4 in the shop behind the wall that this desk is on. So things are definitely busy. I got your 2 controllers coming here, so definitely keeps me occupied.
Yeah. So Travis, the guy who was on the previous episode, like, he opens up his shop, and I took him out to check out the trails, and he's been we're both like, wigging out here. We got nothing to do. He's been building out these like giant bowls. I don't like, basically like California skate bowls in dirt. And he's like using big pipe for coat. Like, he's just building this massive bowl system in with his trails. And so I stopped out to say hey to him. But in the winter time, he opens up his shop. We put out some concrete curbs, and just back to back, like, we're just doing slides over and over again. Concrete slide. And like the same day, both Travis and I's boards just go down. We're like, oh shit. So we go through not only that, but like Travis cracked his BMS. And so he had to get a new BMS in. But on top of that, he also had a controller issue. So then he had to ship his controller out with my controller. And so shout out to Josh for hooking us up and getting that better and getting that slide ready again so I can beat the shit out of it some more.
Happy to help, man. Keep people riding is my job.
Yeah, and Josh was also essential for when we were developing the butter bumpers. He was the main engineer on the butter bumpers. And if you look inside and you see how beautiful they are, that beautiful cathedral, Interior, that is all Josh. He did
Your bumpers are prominently featured in the film. I might add. There's basically like a product placement shot of it because it just happened to be a good shot. But yeah, they're in there.
Excellent. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's great working with Josh. I assume that we're going to continue to work together in the future. And but yeah, he's also just an incredible designer and engineer. Just beyond fixing things that already exist, he also he has a great mind for development and engineering. So.
We need more people.
Don't pump him up too much.
Working with you and
no, I'm gonna go visit him. I'm gonna tank him. It's fine.
That's right. Working with you and Michael has by far been the best experience I've had one-wheeling. Like I said, I love working on stuff. Fixing stuff is great, but coming up with your own ideas and then manifesting that into somebody that other people can get excited about is extremely rewarding. Butter Bumpers is obviously the first instance of that, and I'm very, very much looking forward to doing a lot of that in the future with you guys.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Heck yeah.
All right, now I want to move on to Henry. Now, Henry, what are you up to, man? I don't think I don't remember grasping it from the bio that you sent it over to me. Like, are you doing something within the one wheel community, or like, what are you doing now?
So I don't have my own shop or anything. So I'm in Atlanta right now.
Okay.
I went to college in Ohio, University of Cincinnati with Josh and everybody else. And Josh made his shop. That was super awesome. I actually helped him several times. I've helped him work on things, whatever. I'm very mechanically minded as well. And then I got a job offer for out of college down here in Atlanta. So I moved down here with the intention of eventually starting out my own shop. But unfortunately, I couldn't do that because there's already a shop in Atlanta. So right now, all I'm doing is just working my day job. But I still stay active in local communities. I'm not really so much the social media side, but I'm going on 2 or 3 group rides a week, shredding with people. I like to go to, I went to Float Life Fest. That was super sick. I probably won't make it out to Dirt Surfers, but Oak City Shred Fest, all those other events.
Cool.
Planning to make it out to
Yeah,
those.
and you guys have a racing team, correct?
Oh yeah, that's right.
We
the
have a
Denim
little
Demons.
team. No, adding on to what
There it is.
Demons never die.
As you can see on the back of their
Henry's
chairs,
saying,
they're prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Henry was very
my God.
instrumental in helping set up the shop that we were doing in Cincy. If there was a large amount of boards come in, and if there was stuff that needed more hands than 2, Henry was always the person to call. And stuff's growing out here in New England, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. And Henry's still pretty instrumental, very instrumental in the back end of setting that up for New England. So while he's not here physically, he's definitely here in spirit, and he's still very much involved with helping me get where my shop needs to be.
Very cool. So, are you guys going to be racing this year? Yeah, Denim Demons. They're going to be. You guys
Oh,
gonna-
absolutely! You'll
Goddamn
be seeing
right
a
we
lot
are.
more flying this year.
Denim Demons are
The
going to be
Demons.
destroying.
Just a blue blur.
We're gonna
as it
we're gonna
goes
have to
by.
make a Pushback exclusive that's like denim vest with the patches and all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, you
We'll
have
get
to
some
no.
denim patches
Josh went
going.
absolutely ham on his vest. It is beautiful. They also made me an honorary member. I got a little anklet of denim.
A janklet.
A
It's
janklet.
janklet.
She is.
A janklet.
There she is.
Didn't Ren hang one of your
it's
one of
so
your
hard to
cowboy
see.
hats up
I
on
see
like a
pixels.
wall
Yeah.
at Corridor Digital?
One of the
Yeah, it's in their
last
studio.
That's
One of the
awesome.
last things I did, 5 or 10 minutes before flying out to go back home, is I called Ren over. I'm like, "Hey, I got something really important I got to share with you." And he comes over as I'm walking to the car, and I have the hat on my head, and I just go, "It's yours now." And he took it all the way back with him. I have no idea how he got that thing on a plane or where he packed it. But
Probably wore it.
I don't know
was
how he got it
convinced-
back.
I was convinced he was just going to throw it away. I really didn't think I'd see it again. And all of us, I'm sure, my brother included, watched these videos, and my brother sent me a video and just paused frame and zoomed in, and that hat's just prominently in their studio.
That was crazy. They would just by chance saw a video
By
and there
absolute
it was
chance.
hanging on the wall. That's
So,
awesome.
Ren,
So
if you're
funny.
listening to this, shout out, love you, brother. Thanks for getting that thing back home safe.
Another honorary
Thanks
denim
for not
demon.
throwing the
That's
hat
right.
away.
Another honorary demon for sure.
It's sacred.
Very cool. Yeah. So, all right. So I got the backstory is kind of I got it down, the float effect. I'm very excited to like see this project come to life.
I'm so flattered that you and other people are excited. I'm excited to get it done. I love that everybody's pretty passionate about it.
The
Anxious
trailer
to
was
see it.
awesome.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, the trailer was cool. Very very hype, you know? Like, I have no idea what it's about. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's dope. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I think you did a good job of like covering a lot of aspect, like street, like a lot aftermarket stock.
For sure.
Like, it's kind of
You'll
the
be
whole
saying that
breadth
after
of,
you see it. Yeah, for sure.
I'm curious too, so I want to know like how much trick stuff is in here versus like riding and all that.
That's the thing. Not a whole lot of tricks because one, a lot of the filming was taking place before we really like knew how to do tricks.
Yeah.
Two, that's not really the purpose, is
Sure.
to like show off tricks. And three, it's kind of hard to film tricks. It's like a lot of the shots are about the riding and just kind
feel
of
like tricks
supplementary
are-
footage to a point being made.
I feel like it's very new. I mean, unless you're like these
Yeah.
West Coast dudes that are like
It's
have been
rapidly
practicing for
developing,
years,
yeah.
and now they're like starting to capture it more. Like, it's making a very hot social media like
Yeah.
hit right now. But I feel like beforehand, like fuck, I didn't know anyone was doing like some of these rapid things in
Yeah.
it. It's getting more attention now than ever before.
It's funny you mentioned the tricks because, like, after this film, like, I could see myself making a something, not like a sequel, but like just something else that is more focused on tricks. I'd love to make a high polish, high production value film about the tricks.
Yeah.
Like
Let's do
like
it.
a skate video,
Right
but
down.
Yes.
Get like one of the mega slow mo cams that does
Yeah.
like 1,000 frames a second.
Yeah.
And
yep. There's some slow mo in there.
that'd
Slow-mo
be
in the
cool.
film.
But yeah, I think like you were, the new Float Life video was, it was like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like, oh wow, okay, well we're here now,
Yeah.
this is standard now.
Yeah.
Like, it's only a matter of time before I feel like heel flips and like
You can go by that guy that says do a kickflip and then actually
and
do
then
one, like
actually
pop
do
one
it.
out,
Exactly.
like finally shut that
Exactly.
guy up.
yeah.
Josh Henry, how long do you think it's going to be before even more boards are being repaired? Because these fuckers, like, I don't think they're. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you're meant to like really flip these things around.
they're tanks, but,
and,
like
they're tanks
Yeah.
for sure.
No, the
But it
boards-
requires a lot of hard damage to
Yeah.
learn the tricks. So.
And just in general,
the
the
thing-
boards do not like full rotations. Like when I was
No.
when I was trying to
Yeah.
learn 360s or whatever with fins.
Yeah.
The board was continuously. It's so weird. The tail goes down, but it accelerates. It's like completely
Yeah.
unnatural.
Yep. I know what you're
And it's
talking
just
about.
and it's purely because I think the accelerometer is being pushed to the nose because it's spinning so fast, and then it thinks it's leaning forward even though you're down. So it creates this really weird effect. I assume the same thing with it doing a roll. I think the board has some internals that. It's just like, nope, I'm done. I'm done with this. You're not supposed to be
Yep.
doing this to me. Maybe even as a safety feature, but that's kind of the state of the board. Is the board kind of does fight you on certain tricks.
Yeah. What do you think?
The
You're
board's gonna do
I
what
know,
it's
like,
gonna
let's
do.
leave GT out of the equation here because obviously, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if we back up to that,
how much do you think you're going to
statement-
be repairing boards at this point with people trying this shit?
So, repair volume is going to increase as people do increasingly aggressive shit. That's pretty easy to predict. Where am I going to go after this? So, to your point on durability, the Onewheel is a tank. Yes. In my opinion, it's the strongest D-board that's there, but even tanks need maintenance, and even tanks need service. So, it's the most durable thing you can get, but that doesn't mean it's indestructible. So tricks are only going to go so far, but
Yeah.
beyond or to the point where you're going to find something that you can do, and if you smack the nose down, it's going to kill the board. And you're going to either choose, all right, every time I attempt this trick can be $1,000 to $2,000 the value of the board, or I can go and try to figure out to do something else.
Right.
Right? Because like you were saying, you come from a skate background, so if you snap a deck, it's at what? Or at most what? Like $100, $150 for a complete.
Yes, $50 repair right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. We're going. All right,
Yeah,
let's
so
snap the deck.
super fast,
Throw
super
that one
easy,
over there.
but-
Next deck.
Yeah.
Let's go. You don't. And even then, you don't have to wheels and trucks. You just okay, swap it. Okay, new deck. We're good to go. Like
That's right. So now take that exact scenario and have that mental room in your head mapped out for, okay, if I break this, it's going to be at least a couple weeks of downtime if I don't have another board, and it's going to be a lot more expensive than a regular skateboard. So that's going to put somewhat of a restriction on what people are willing to do with these things, and that's going to decrease repair volume. But then you have people like Floaty or the TFL guys who don't care. And you're going to see a lot more crazy stuff out of them, like you saw in this new normal video. So it's exciting to see the sport grow, we're constantly finding ways to make these boards more durable and more reliable, and easier, faster ways to fix them. But the only way we get better at it is by doing it more.
It's almost like a barrier to those like upper level tricks. It's like you
Yeah.
gotta
Well, and like
be okay with the
How big is your wallet?
yeah.
like huge shout out to Josh too. Like when that's what I'm talking about. I'm like getting my board, like getting my controller repaired. Like he's given above and beyond recommendations of like, oh okay, we're gonna repair your board. Like we're not taking it back to the stock level. Like some of the things he's telling me is like, we're actually gonna do this, this, and this, so it's even like more durable. So now when you're hitting these concrete slides and stuff, like you can have a little more confidence. Like it's probably gonna be a while before it breaks again. Like it's not that, or it's not going back to what Papa FM sent it out with me. What was it? Peter, the guy who made
Who made One Wheel?
One Wheel.
Yeah.
We're gonna mess it up every time. Peter, it's Peter making the One Wheel.
Peter Onewheel.
It gives you a good level of confidence, which I think is really fun to work with these guys. The SLS guys, like they really take it that next notch up, which I think is really cool.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause I think
through SLS,
overall
we
they're-
obviously want to get your board fixed. We obviously want to get your board fixed, but also we want you to understand how your
I'm
board
listening to you.
works. What's that?
Yeah.
I just said I'm listening to you. There's a slight delay, but
Yeah.
Just your
no, you're good.
We're
No,
adjusting to the
keep
McDonald's
talking.
Wi-Fi.
Keep
It's fine.
talking.
Just keep doing your thing.
sorry.
We'll
I'm
pause.
sorry.
We'll wait.
Yeah. It's all good.
You're good.
Yeah,
I think it's more like White Castle.
White Castle. Not even
how it works.
McDonald's.
I mean, the goal of what we're doing in SLS, yeah, obviously we want to fix your board. We're going to get you what you're after, but we want you to understand, why your board works the way it does and what options suit you best. So when you come out of an SLS shop, you have a more intimate understanding of your board and why that fix is the right thing for you.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I think also, SLS guys, they've seen boards. They kind of have a running list of like, here's what happens to boards. Like this is like what people are gonna fuck up on boards consistently. So then when boards do come in, even if it's not something it's like, well, this is probably gonna go bad. At this point, how long have you had the board, or whatever? I think it's gonna get a lot more like car repair, where it's like, okay, like just. This isn't something
this is
you
what you
need to
should
do.
expect,
Yeah, you should just do this by default. And I think that'll be a big service to the community. It'll be interesting to see when the GT comes out to see how serviceable
sort
it
of
is.
things that-
But I said that remains to be seen.
Yeah. Remains to be seen for a while, apparently, too.
Yeah. Months.
To nobody's surprise.
Yeah.
When they release the GT, I'll release the film. How about that?
Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us.
Kidding.
It cracks me
I'm
up because I'm
hoping
a
you
part of
beat
the.
that GT
I'm not
release,
buying a
Cam.
GT currently, but I'm a part of the.
I probably will.
I'm a part of the like the One Wheel GT owners group and stuff, and it cracks me up to see how many like newbie buyers who are buying a GT who are like so pissed off with FM for this stuff.
Yeah.
Just research their track record a little bit, and you'll find out that like they've never released a board on time. So expect it. Like if you want to buy one, great, buy it, get it when it comes. It's gonna come, and it's gonna be amazing. Like if you haven't seen some of the footage they're doing, like Javier Starks and some of those other guys that have been built, like that thing, they can move. It's really cool to watch it.
I feel like it's wild though to stop selling the former product.
Yeah, that's
Before
interesting.
you start
It
selling.
was very quickly too. I was like, eventually they'll probably stop, but
Yeah.
it seemed like I was.
So wait, which models can you not buy anymore? Like,
XR? Just the XR.
Just the XR?
yeah.
You can buy
Really?
the Pine X and GT.
like ever again?
Yep. Ever
They're out.
again.
I didn't know that.
way, yeah.
She gone.
Rip.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, a
That
legend.
means it's
Stockpile
solely
hubs.
on the
Yeah.
community to keep the
No,
XR
that's
up
like
and
it's. Yeah, that's like like I said before. I think that there is going to be a committed community of XR owners that will just not let it die. Like, no, I'm never going GT. I'm going to keep this thing going forever. And I feel like we'll see 20-year-old XRs and just that are
That's funny.
just absolute tanks.
It'll be fun to see it when they come across.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got January 31st, right? That's when it's going to be released. We got the
You wanna
release
put
date
a
up
date
here.
on it.
I got broken boards out to Josh, here, I'm going to put my fact checked in here right now. It wasn't Martin who created the sticker for It Was You, Steezy. It was Kevin Swanky. So he's a Scotland rider, I think.
Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland.
I would
I
love
might have to fact check that one too because I'm not positive there.
Yeah.
But I got Kevin right. His name is Kevin. And he made the little, it was you Steezy sticker. So as Steezy is dead right now, being shipped out to Josh to be fixed, Steezy will be back running and Steezy will be ready to go.
Oh, good.
I'll treat him nice.
I would love to know the numbers on different other countries' riders. Like how many people, it seems like there's quite a few people in the EU. A lot of people. I'm just going off of kind of what we ship to, like flight fins, basically. Seems like a lot of people in Europe, a lot of people in Japan, New Zealand, and like Australia. But I'm not sure what it might be France actually. It might be the biggest one wheel community outside of the U.S. But I don't know though. It'd just be interesting to see because I do think that it easily took off in America. I assume that everywhere else they can get their hands on one it would take off as well. So
Right.
I'm really curious what the profit margin is on one of those. I try to think about how many people, especially with what you're saying. I didn't even consider other countries. I'm like, man, Carl must be making a fat stack.
His name's changed 3 times during this podcast.
Carl One Wheel,
Carl Motion.
Carl Motion,
Carl Motion.
But gosh, can you imagine?
Frank Motion.
They should. You know what they should do? They should spend some of that money on infrastructure with new releases.
maybe that might behoove them. Yes.
Oh man. All right. So Josh, Henry, any I don't know if I got any final remarks for you guys. I think we covered the one wheel story really well. The float effect. Let's leave one more piece of content in here because I want to leave people really if you were to leave people saying that mouth drooling moment where they're like, you have to watch this film when it comes out January 31st. And or when it gets pushed back and then the pushback has to post about the fact check that's saying it's actually February 28th. Yeah. Or what would you say? I want to get your 3 opinions. What's that moment where it's this is why you should watch that film? There's that one, I don't want to call it the favorite scene, but this is that moment that's going to make you be like, oh damn, that was a good film.
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, you go ahead.
This is the fun part. Cam's the only one who's seen the edit in its entirety. So we've only seen the trailer that everyone else has seen.
Oh,
yeah, they haven't. I've showed them little snippets.
So this is a Cam question.
I mean, yeah, there's some segments that I'm very proud of. That just that line in the trailer that says "one wheel porn." I put that in there, and that's basically it's the most cinematic one wheel riding shots. There's a lot of FPV in there. Okay. I learned to fly FPV for this film, and there's some really
there
cool
are some
stuff.
hype FPV
There's
shots.
some of the best FPV shots that I've ever seen, and I shot them. It was pretty unexpected. I do it, it's oh my god, okay, actually that's amazing. But I'm just trying to make it epic. The sound, the music, the visuals, the way they come together, the way it flows. I think when some of these segments hit and just you watch it play out, just the editing and the visuals, I think it'll just make you feel good. It'll make you want to go ride.
Yeah.
I think One Wheel is going to be absolutely drooling. Okay, which of our the people on our team went off and did their own thing?
Yeah,
it carries a lot of that, because they do have some really nice shots in One Wheel's marketing or whatever, and holds up to that, and then above some. It's it's just kind of the feeling of riding the board. It is very much a vibe of One Wheel. It's not per se the tricks. It's not per se the riders. It's just the experience of riding, and I feel it kind of wraps that all up into very cinematic and just oh yep, that's what it's like. It's
full
really
encompassing too. So for those people again that not everybody. There's going to be stupid ones that are out there really trying tricks on these things, but people just float. Right?
Yeah.
There's just people that go and float. And ride. And there's the same level of stoke. Granted, it's really fun landing a shove it or corrected me trick prick sex change or any other type of trick that you're landing on this. Yeah, the trick pricks over here. Anyone who's correcting the tricks, you got a sticker made called for the trick pricks.
Just trying to save you from yourself.
Still calling you trick pricks. But it's still the same stoke either way, right?
Yeah. That's kind of the purpose. I mean, it's basically it's a short film. If we aren't clear, it's 15 minutes, about 15 minutes long, and so it's basically a 15-minute ad for One Wheels, but it's a dope ad. So
yeah, there you go.
The kind of film that you'll watch and you'll riders will want to go ride, and people that don't have boards will want to go buy boards. So if I've influenced a few people to buy boards, this is going to take that over.
Peter FM will be
edge.
calling you for your affiliate.
Yeah, I
check,
feel
and
like
he'll be saying,
Jebediah
Jonathan
Motion.
Future.
I really feel like it's like one of the best. It's one of the best products ever because like we all sell it for free.
Yeah.
Like how many?
I've never felt so passionate to like share a product that I bought.
Yeah.
It's the best network marketing scheme you could possibly get into.
It's not a pyramid
Just
scheme
have a
because
good
only
product.
one person is ever making any money.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's
Straight bar.
I think that we're being manipulated.
I think so.
We're all
I
being
think there's
we're all
only
being
two
manipulated
things
by
that I've
Pete
ever
Wheel.
seen.
Pete Wheel.
One Pete Wheel.
Pete R. Wheel.
I'm so sorry, Kyle, or whoever your name is, when you listen to this show, like, I never get my fucking name right.
Just getting shit on the whole
yeah,
time.
maybe if you stop suing people, I'll get you.
No, it's not Kyle. I don't. Kyle's not the legal team. He has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, right.
He's just trying to ride.
Sure.
He's just trying to shred his way to work.
Yeah.
From
He's trying to
Canada.
float on.
So wait, before we get off of this, like we do have one more thing. So I asked, so a new thing we're doing in the guest requests when we're trying to get the information on everyone coming on the show, I asked for their favorite one wheel clip of either them riding or of them getting ready to do something. So we're gonna play the first clip here. This is Henry's.
yes.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, so he had a scooter. That's the best thing that ever came of that.
Oh my god, I forgot I owned that thing, dude. I got that scooter for free from Boosted, and I beat the shit out of it.
Funny story, that clip is actually in the film. At the end, there's like a post-credits thing and a little montage. That's in there. So
Oh, apparently you teabagged it too, not just beat the shit out of it.
Josh is
Put
one of
my
the
nuts on it.
He is one of the best like Snapchat archivists that I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Like he's like
And Nico,
5
too.
years ago today.
Yeah,
and
and
it's like
Nico.
this amazing
Nico
clip
was
of like
Yes.
just some bullshit happening.
yes,
What cam goes with the real camera? I do a Snapchat.
Josh is pretty good. Yes.
We need a bigger Snapchat following. That's what it is. All right, so now we've got Josh's clip.
Oh joy.
I love this.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
dumb but very
Yes.
impressive. Look at this. Look at that.
Seriously
Look
impressive.
at him go.
Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't even. Yeah, it's like he's done this. His
Everybody at
entire-
home, go
Off-road
try and
as
do that.
well. It doesn't even matter.
Now, he gets a little too ambitious here, but go try
I
and
can
do
tell
that
you
right
by
now.
The, by
What
the state
in
of that
your
fender.
Mine makes you think that.
So I can tell by the state of the fender and how much float plate is left on those float plates. That was relatively around the point when I got the board. And that was Nico and I just messing around in a parking lot. I'm like, hey, record this. And I went over and I grabbed a rock. I'm like, if I pop my weight up,
What do you
I might be
call
able to
that
stand
trick?
on this. I forget what we called it. We sent it in to, I forget who.
It's gotta have a
There's
name.
some
Rocky?
stupid name for it.
Rocky.
That's the name of the file, but yeah, that's just the stuff
rock?
that we do. Nico's
old
really
Fender
good at
rock.
just capturing all the
Good
dumb
old
shit.
Go,
The
Ghost
old-
Ride the Rock.
Ghost Ride the
Nico's
Rock.
really good at capturing
Rock
all the
to
dumb shit we do
regular?
on camera. That's just one of many instances.
That's good.
All right, now we got Cam's clip coming up here.
Quite proud of this one.
Yes.
Oh, shit, this is so good.
Quite dangerous. My toe would not have been okay after that. My finest moment.
He crunched into that bush.
That was like the third time we did that because the shots weren't good, and I was like, "Let me go again."
So that was you on the board.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And that was pretty early too. Like that was that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that was the thing. Like you had. Like I hadn't seen people do any of like that level of ledge of that high.
And that was like a foot wide.
yeah. That was some scary shit.
I went up there. One of the people was like, "What if he dies?" He's like, "He won't. He's fine. He won't. He got it."
It's easy.
What?
Don't
You
fall.
got the tummy grumblies on that one.
Yeah.
If he dies, it goes on lively.
Yeah.
Well, Cam, Josh, Henry, dude, guys, thank you so much for coming on to the episode today.
Thank you for the time.
I think everyone here is really stoked about it. Actually, we're gonna like hang out here and maybe just watch the whole film or watch some scenes or different stuff later. I don't know.
I'll show you a little
see.
bit.
We'll show a little bit of the scenes that we're gonna
Yeah.
get caught up. But yeah, we're super excited to have you guys on the show. Definitely gonna have you guys back around, especially after the drop comes and feedback comes in, and talk about the float effector. Right? That was what you were
Yeah,
you were
float
calling.
effector.
Yeah, that's the
Part
next
two.
one.
Gotta get the first one done first. Hold on.
He's already started planning part 2. Part 1's not ready yet. So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll,
Thank you
we'll
so
get ready
much
to
for
cue the
having us
outro,
on.
guys,
This was a
but,
ton of fun.
dude. Thanks for popping on.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll link up everybody. So in the description, make sure you hit these guys up. Right, if you need a board repaired, make sure you hit up Josh or your local SLS guy if you don't need to, but give Josh some special treatment. Hit him up. We're gonna get all the links up.
No. If
Cameron's
you need service, your
Cameron's
closest
trailer
guy
for the
can be
float
found
effect.
at
All that'll be in the description.
stokelifeservice.com.
Oh, Stoke Life Services. Yeah.
Yeah, Stoke Life. Okay, yeah. Make sure you hit them up because those guys will definitely take care of you. So, and before the next episode, Josh will get better Wi-Fi, and
Yeah.
we'll.
I will. I promise.
Upgrade to Taco Bell.
Also, a little known fact about Henry is that
I set you up on the
we just
soundboard
had
the
that.
entire time.
just holding on to that.
That's good.
But next time I need a montage of your Nerf shots, Henry.
Oh,
I need
man.
a
Oh my
full-
God.
Little do they know.
I'm legendary.
Little
in my
do they know.
Nerf gun abilities.
It truly terrifies me at how good he is. It's
Sniper.
yeah, truly a Nerf sniper.
We're definitely coming down then because I've got like the Nerf rivals or whatever they are, like the little balls.
Yeah.
We've got 2 of the big automatic guns and
Oh,
everything
man.
too. Like we could have a full out Nerf war. Have these
Yes.
guys down.
Dude, let's go.
Record it. Have it in the B-roll.
Yeah.
And you have to stay on your one wheel. If you fall off your one wheel,
Yeah.
Yes, one wheel
That's a
Nerf
good
rivals.
idea.
That'll be a good one. All right,
Henry versus everyone.
guys, it's been a pleasure, and we will see you guys on the next
definitely.
episode.
Later.
Later. Goodbye.
See ya.